Eating in space is a bit of a challenge, as there is no gravity in space. Astronauts eat their meals by sucking from tubes or bags. The average temperature of space is -270 degrees Celsius, which corresponds to 3 degrees below zero. The largest planet, Jupiter, is more than the combined mass of all the other planets in the solar system. The largest star ever discovered in space, Uy-Sakuti, is 1,700 times the size of the Sun. Although it may seem that there is nothing in space, in fact, space is not empty. There are many things in space such as gases, dust, and dark matter. On the surface of Mars is a volcano called Olympus Mons, which is higher than the highest mountain in the world. In 1961, Yuri Gagarin is the first human in space. In a gravity-free environment, the shape of the water changes. In space, water becomes a spherical ball. Nothing is heard in space because a medium is required for the transmission of sound. Since there is no air or other molecules in space, there is no sound. Time flows differently in space due to gravitational differences. For example, a clock in close orbit to Earth will be slower than Earth for an hour due to gravity differences. There are 16 sunrises and sunsets in a single day in space. This is due to the apparent motion of the Sun due to the orbits of the planets. There is no object that is constantly moving in space. Everything moves from a fixed point. Large magnetic storms can occur on the surface of the Sun, which can cause serious damage to the Earth. In space, there is a magnetosphere that is thinner than the ozone layer in the Earth's atmosphere, but still filters out radiation. Because there is no gravity in space, astronauts cannot swim in space. Instead, they move as if floating in the air. Radiation levels in space are much higher than on Earth. Therefore, astronauts can be exposed to a lot of radiation in space. Because there is no gravity in space, there is no frictional force when astronauts move through space. Therefore, objects moving in space can move infinitely. Sputnik, the first man-made object in space, was launched by the Soviet Union on October 4, 1957. During the expeditions to Mars, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Rover Opportunity worked on the planet for more than 15 years, making it the longest-serving spacecraft in the solar system. To navigate in space, astronauts determine the orientation of the stars by tracking their positions and using special devices. Meteorite impacts in space are quite common. However, the number of meteorites reaching Earth is very few because our atmosphere destroys them. In space, because there is no friction in the atmosphere, the speeds of objects can increase indefinitely. For this reason, spacecraft use engines to control their motion in orbit. Stars in space can emit different colors of light, depending on their type and age. For example, young blue stars are brighter than old yellow stars. Most of the asteroids found in the solar system are located in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Many meteorites found in space are different from materials found on Earth and give scientists important clues about how the universe was formed. In space, some are lost out of orbit during the formation of planets. These lost planets can still be found in space, and scientists are searching for them. Most galaxies in space form stars and planets from the gas and dust clouds around them. The largest structures discovered in space are massive groups of galaxies called superclusters. Because there is no gravity in space, astronauts' bones and muscles can weaken after prolonged space missions. In space, due to the orbits of the planets, some stars have false friends. This is an optical illusion caused by the orbits of one star surrounding other stars. In space, cosmic dust clouds between the orbits of planets can glow with radiation from stars, causing a glow called zodiac light. In space, dense bodies such as black holes attract matter from space and bend the objects around them. Therefore, black holes are one of the most interesting and mysterious phenomena in space. In space, there are many different wavelengths that astronomers can use to make observations. These wavelengths include radio waves, X-rays, and gamma rays. In space, signs of life on other planets such as Mars are being investigated to learn more about the origin of life on Earth. In space, the distances between stars and planets are too great to be expressed in kilometers or miles. This is why. In space, most stars outside the solar system are red dwarfs, which are smaller and cooler than the Sun. In space, some galaxies can reabsorb and destroy stars after forming stars from surrounding clouds of gas and dust. There are many near-Earth asteroids in space, and some of them are approaching the Earth in a potentially dangerous way. Therefore, scientists are trying to take measures to prevent future asteroid collisions. Even if it is possible to travel through space at speeds close to the speed of light, such travel would take a very long time and is not yet technologically possible. In space, some planets have very harsh conditions because the winds on their surface are so strong and even bigger than the strongest hurricanes on Earth. In space, many planets orbit in the plane around their star, and this plane is called the ecliptic. In space, the surface of some planets is covered with liquid hydrocarbons. Saturn's moon Titan is one such planet, and its surface gives it an appearance similar to the oceans on Earth. In space, like Earth's magnetic field, some planets have magnetic fields, and these fields can filter radiation from the planet's surface. In space, there is volcanic activity on the surface of some planets, such as volcanoes on Earth, and these activities shape the planet's surface shapes. In space, some stars can die in explosions called supernovae because of their massive mass. These explosions create a powerful burst of light and radiation in space. In space, there is a radiation called cosmic microwave background radiation. This radiation was formed by the expansion of the universe after Big Bang and provides important evidence of how the universe formed. In space, the atmosphere of some planets contains many gases unlike the atmosphere on Earth. For example, Jupiter's atmosphere consists of gases such as hydrogen, helium, and methane. In space, some galaxies have supermassive black holes. These black holes are located at the center of galaxies and can have billions of solar masses. In space, the surface of some planets can be subject to natural disasters such as earthquakes, storms, and even meteor strikes, as well as volcanoes. In space, some stars can last for billions of years. However, smaller stars may have a shorter lifetime and may shine and eventually fade over the years. In outer space, there is evidence of the existence of water on the surface of many planets, which is necessary for life to exist. Therefore, scientists are trying to learn more about the source of water in space.